Welcome to Unlocked, a NAMFS podcast. In today's episode, we're talking with Home Guard Supply about the tools, materials, and support contractors rely on every day in the field. We'll explore common supply challenges, how the right resources can improve quality and compliance, and how NAMFS members can operate more efficiently. Let's get started.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us for Season 2 of the NAMFS Podcast. Today, we have Brandon Guzman with us, and we're going to talk about some resources for our NAMFS membership. So, Brandon, why don't you start with who you are and how you got involved with NAMFS?
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Kelly. I'm happy to be here. Happy to participate in today's discussion. Again, my name is Brandon Guzman. I have a company called Home Guard Supply, and we supply pretty much everything that could be on an initial work order. We sell everything from hardware to securing items to winterization products to contractors in the space. We've been a member of NAMFS. I personally have been a member of NAMFS since as long as I can remember, probably between 13 and 14 years. And since I acquired Home Guard Supply, it'll be 3 years. We've been a member of NAMFS as well. So yeah, we're happy to be a part of the organization. We get a ton of value out of it, and anything we can do to continue to help the organization thrive, then we're here to participate.
Yeah, we also appreciate you volunteering and participating as a board member for several of the last years. Your input has been valuable for building ROIs for our membership, Brandon. So thank you for that. How's Home Guard Supply and your organization supporting our contractors in the field on a day-to-day basis?
And, I think that for the most part, I think our position in it is, we have our company is small and mighty, and we have a very good team of people that handle customer service and people in the warehouse that are helping get orders out right away. We know just from being in the industry for so long that a lot of times it's as soon as the work order comes in, as a timeline, the clock starts. And normally that clock starts for me beforehand. So the goal is to get the order in, and when we get it, we have to pick, pack, and ship it and get it out as quick as possible and get it to you as quick as possible. So a lot of times we're looking at ways in which we can get the product out quicker and more efficiently, and obviously shipped correctly the first time. And that hopefully translates into you getting your work order done quick and efficiently done on the back end. So yeah, I mean, we really try to do that. In the past year, we've had to we've expanded our inventory positions on materials, and I'm sure you'll have questions coming up just in regards to the turmoil and a lot of stuff with tariffs that have happened over the last year. But for us, it's like we know that there's been like price volatility within the space, and our goal is just to make sure that we do the best that we can to get orders out right away and accurate.
That's great. So outside of timeliness, which is super important to the servicers and the investors, is there another common supply chain challenge that your contractors are facing and how you're helping them?
Yeah, I mean, I think that right now, I think a lot of it is trying to find, scenarios where it's not just the locks and the padlocks, the things that have particular key codes, but it's the ancillary items like air fresheners and winterization products that potentially could be purchased elsewhere. We try to find, as we get ideas from contractors that work with us, try to find areas of items that potentially are ancillary that they're buying other places that are paying a premium for, to see if we could either bring them in for them just to add to their order to get to their free shipping threshold quicker. So the items that we really don't make money on, like trash bags that are consumable items, we just try to bring them in to help, so it's a one-stop shopping experience for customers. But yeah, I mean, those are scenarios where we're always open to look for new things to bring in. And what helps us immensely is just understanding the market of what people pay for things in the outside, and ways in which we can help drive down that cost for contractors is an important part and pillar of why we're in business. So our goal is always to try to do things and get things shipped out at a lower cost than what else is out there in the market. So we're aggressively trying to do that for customers.
That's fantastic. I didn't even consider all the ancillary items and getting up to that free shipping minimum. That's great to hear. What trends are you seeing in the supply needs as the industry evolves, besides the air fresheners and the winterization tools that you had mentioned?
I think some trends are just, in the past, in previous years, it was we had a lot of key codes that made it hard for contractors to keep things on their trucks. I think that there was a time where at least there was a couple suppliers that would have a minimum threshold for shipping. It'd be $600 or $700 in order to get free shipping. And then you'd have a lot of work orders that would have a lot of different key codes on them. So you'd have to have, 10 of, 8 or 9 different key codes. And I think at least today, from what I see, I think there's a consolidation of key codes where there's not as many out there. And then I think just across the board, I think pretty much everybody, and the age of Amazon and age of all these things where the shipping threshold has kind of come down. So you don't need to have as much inventory in your shelves personally. You rely on your distributors to have that inventory and also to ship it out right away, to keep your cash in your pocket until you actually need to order stuff. So I've seen a lot of that. I think people are stocking less and relying on the distributors to ship it out quick and efficiently, so they don't have to have as much cash out on their inventory. And we support that. I mean, that's why we have a lower shipping threshold, and that's why we're trying to understand the key codes that are the most important to make sure that we keep those in stock when we as much as possible. But I have seen a consolidation in how many key codes have used to be relevant, and now that are in the mix. Now there's probably 7 or 8 main key codes that are probably 85 to 90% of what moves.
Yeah, we as a national, we appreciate the consolidation of key codes too. It makes it far easier to process our orders and fewer delays by the contractors while they're waiting on the shipments. So that's fantastic. Yeah. How can our membership better leverage your services and operate more efficiently so they can complete these orders on time?
I think from our standpoint, we're always trying to create awareness, and we're trying to help as many contractors as possible to for us, we want to know what's happening in the industry just so we can better help support our customers. And through the association, as we figure out trends that are happening or pricing initiatives that are happening, we're trying to just be a partner into the contractor to make sure that as changes are happening with the industry, that we're following suit and making sure that we have the materials in place to help make sure that you guys can continue to operate. I think that for us, we're trying to come up with value adds in an age of where a lot of the contractors, whether it be through rewards programs or you try to do things that are helping make sure the customer feels super valued. And at the end of the day, all the feedback we get is like, hey, make sure you ship my stuff right, accurate, and on time, and I'm here for it. And so those are the kind of the 3 things that we always try to do. And as an association, is trying to get the word out of ways in which we can potentially either provide more content of what's happening. So for us, this past year was challenging, right? So, in October, there was a large tariff increase for aluminum and products that are out there in the market that used to be $5. Now they went to $7 all of a sudden. And, for me, I don't know if that gets down into where regionals and nationals, get that wind or get that news. So, us trying to at least iterate that there's a 25% tariff on these materials, and trying to at least mitigate ways in which that increase comes informed to the contractor has been one of our main goals, whether it be sourcing from other areas, but for us, just providing content to regionals and nationals that's happening, so that at least there's some awareness happening that there is price increases on some of these materials to help cushion. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been one of those challenging years of where it's hard to know, one, if there's an end in sight of the tariffs or if they're going to increase, or if there's ways in which we can do things more efficiently to help keep our costs low, to not pass that on to the contractor. And we've tried to do our best to make sure that that's the case. And that's probably why one of the reasons where maybe that there is just a consolidation of maybe contractor not having as much inventory in their shelves because they're reliant on us, the distributor, to have it in stock and ship it quickly. But I think another thing I was telling Kelly is I think that maybe that there's probably a good push, at least in my opinion, that maybe vendors and nationals can try to work with the supply companies to try to work out, good agreements or just good discount codes to try to drive awareness of things to help keep the cost down for the contractors. And I think most, companies like supply houses are happy to do that in effort to try to get contractors to order with them. So I think as long as regionals and nationals put an effort into trying to at least make a little initiative to try to go around to the companies out there that are doing this to try to get the promo code set up for their group of contractors to try to save as much cost as possible. I think that's a good initiative that I think can add a lot of value to the contractor network that they have.
Yeah, definitely an opportunity I'm going to take advantage of. So I appreciate the explanation of the why the price increases are coming out with the tariffs. I think that is important for NAMFS to cascade down to the vendors and certainly our membership. And then you add the complexity of lumpy volume with the loss mit waterfall changes. It's hard, I imagine, for these vendors to predict their inventory needs because of so many fluctuations with regulations and in the guidelines and then the tariffs and where is this industry going. So I'll take that back to the NAMFS organization to communicate out the whys. I think that's excellent. Yeah. Brandon, great. I really appreciate you joining today and explaining the resource you offer to the NAMFS membership. Yeah, happy to be here. And if I could do anything for anybody out there, please feel free to give me a call or email me. I'm happy to be a resource to anybody. Great. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye.
Thank you for watching and listening to Unlocked, a NAMFS podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the NAMFS YouTube channel or follow us wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. We'll be back next Wednesday with another Season 2 conversation, and we look forward to having you join us.